Welcome to the AMSDynamics.com podcast. AMSDynamics.com. Let us be your dynamic business solution.
Hey, I'm Ash.
And I'm Tiny.
We were with AMS LLC, AMSDynamics.com.
Welcome, welcome.
And we are continuing our series about Primal Branding. And today we're talking about...
Sacred words.
What step is that technically?
I don't remember the number. I don't have it like written in front of me, so I mean.
Sorry. Thought you was a brainiac.
Either way, sacred words is one of the primal codes that's intrinsically programmed into our brains. So I mean, Patrick Hanlon is the one who wrote the book. Mm-hmm. This is not our material. This is his stuff, but it is one of the many tools that we use to help out businesses that we help out when it comes to building their brand, marketing, making their message memorable. For them to be able to take what used to just be customers and turn them into loyal family members for their brand, for their business. These concepts, they work for teams, they work for organizations, they work for businesses, they work for people who build and make and sell certain products. And so sacred words is one of those primal codes. Very similar to when we talked about icons, and the images that are associated with certain brands and certain products, and the way that people feel when they see those icons, the way they feel when they're able to display those icons. They're showing, I'm a part of this group, I'm a part of this family. Their ethos is my ethos, their philosophy is my philosophy. I'm going to throw this out. If my voice sounds a little bit weak, it's because I've just gotten over COVID.
Yeah.
And I do not recommend it to anyone. So don't even. I
thought about trying it on. What do you think?
Well, it's mysterious, and so people think, maybe I might want to try that. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You do not.
I'm lucky I haven't had it yet.
I was reduced to a sniveling pile. Oh,
and the thing is you're like one of the healthiest people I know.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And you would think that
you just brush it off.
I would have brushed it off. I did not. It's no different than, because there's that nerve that runs down your jaw, and if you get hit right in that real good one time, it's a one-punch knockout. So it doesn't matter how big, strong, and tough you think you are. You get hit in the right spot. Apparently, COVID is the right spot for me.
I was
down and out, and I did not like it. So I highly recommend everyone avoid it at all costs. Now that we got that out of the way,
that's a sacred words.
Sacred words. Now, okay, so let's say that. So there are words that never existed in the lexicon before that now exist in the lexicon.
Right.
So if I had said, I was out sick, that has one meaning. But 3 years ago, COVID had no meaning. But when you say to somebody, I was out with COVID, that's a word that has a whole lot of meaning, connotation, and it explains a lot, all with that one word just coming out. I was out with COVID. Everyone knows what that means. Everyone knows what that entails. Everyone knows what the potential consequences of that are. And so those words entering the lexicon after 9/11, prior to 9/11, nobody knew what Al-Qaeda was.
No,
Taliban.
I never heard of it.
No, not at all. But after that, everyone knew what Al-Qaeda was. And so terrorism took on a different meaning, took on a different connotation. Al-Qaeda came into the lexicon and had all this meaning that everybody understood as soon as it came into conversation. Now, those are kind of negative examples of it. But a brand, a business, can come up with words. And usually it happens accidentally. Mm-hmm. Usually they don't intentionally set out to make up sacred words, but things that they do, things that they use, things that they make become sacred words. When you hear Nike's "Just Do It" or "No Fear" or some of those slogans that are out there, those would be considered sacred words. But the crux of what makes something a truly sacred word that gives a person that feeling of belonging and membership is the fact that it's either a word that doesn't exist outside of the group, or it's a word that has a different meaning within the group.
Do you have an example?
Perfect example would be Tesla has lots of these. We've used Tesla as an example in the past because they have such a voracious following. Yeah. And either intentionally or unintentionally, Elon Musk has created that type of a cult following that absolutely adheres loyally to the Tesla brand. So there's several of them that Tesla has. Now, the word supercharger is a word that's been used in automotive for decades because it is something that a combustion engine car can use to make it accelerate faster, a supercharger. But when it comes to Tesla, a supercharger and the verb supercharging has a completely different meaning because Tesla has their own charging network for fast charging, for rapid DC charging of the battery that the car has. A traditional supercharger wouldn't do anything in a Tesla vehicle because there's no combustion engine.
Gotcha.
But a Tesla supercharger is one of the fastest charging capable networks on the planet for electric vehicles.
Supercharging.
So supercharging is a ritual that takes place when you're a member of the Tesla community. Supercharging is a ritual. And to say, I need to supercharge, I'm going to go I have to supercharge, that's a sacred word.
Sacred word. I got you. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Another one would be getting iced.
See, that... Okay, so...
Doesn't mean anything
We're talking
to
about
you.
Tesla now?
Still talking about Tesla.
Okay, so that means that getting iced is a mob thing. Like, hey, you get iced.
I'm going to put this guy on ice over here.
Yeah. Okay, so what's that mean?
It doesn't mean anything to you, though, does it?
No.
Because you're not a member of the community. You're not on the inside. You're not initiated.
I wouldn't understand what the sacred word meant.
So ICE, ICE, internal combustion engine. That's a regular car. That's a car that we think of.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Now, superchargers, you've seen them at the chutes over on Sandy Ridge. Right?
Yeah.
So if I take my diesel truck and I back it into a supercharger intentionally to block a Tesla vehicle from being able to charge.
Oh, you got iced.
You got iced.
What a load of bull.
There are entire car clubs that do that intentionally. They get together as a group, 10 or 15 of them, and they drive to supercharger locations and they put their ICE vehicles in front of the superchargers just to prevent Tesla vehicles from being able to charge. That is getting iced.
So that the sacred word is, hey, I got iced.
I got iced.
Oh, man,
yeah.
where at?
Yeah, exactly.
Us versus them kind of thing all of a sudden started.
Unfortunately, but yeah, that's one of those sacred words.
Okay.
And so when you, I don't know much about Wu-Tang Clan. I know that you were pretty big on them.
I truthfully don't. No, I know enough about them to be a fan, but I don't know.
I know that they had some sacred words that were
Killer bees.
So killer bees. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
But wasn't that an energy drink they made?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But they have I know for sure that they have sacred words based around that Shaolin kind of kung fu.
Yeah, 9 generals, the chambers. I don't know too much about them. I was out of the New York hip hop scene.
Were you out of the New York hip hop scene?
I was out of a little bit. I was getting really into.
All right, so then I'll do it since we have been using ICP
Now,
as an example.
The reason why we talk about ICP, Insane Clown Posse, is because their Primal Branding is so spot on.
Oh yeah,
and arguably they're the worst band. Well, I guess
they are in fact
the worst.
The worst band. Rolling Stone rated the worst bands of all time, and the Insane Clown Posse was number one.
And they revel in that fact. The fans revel in that fact.
They do. They revel in the fact. The fans revel in the fact. They did. Howard Stern had an interview with them about that fact. And Howard Stern was trying to stir up some dissension, some trouble. He's like, how can you guys be so calm about this? They're saying you're worse than Vanilla Ice. They're saying you're worse than everybody that's out there. And he said, and Violent J and Shaggy both said, we've been saying for 20 years that we're the most hated band on the planet.
And now we got proof.
And that's another one of their sacred words. I would call that a sacred phrase.
Yeah.
Most hated band on the planet, so fresh they can't stand it. They say that all the time. It's in many of their songs. It's in many of their skits in between their songs. Most hated band on the planet, so fresh they can't stand it. And if they had been the number 2 worst band, that would have hurt them.
Yeah.
That would have hurt their feelings more than being the number 1 worst band on the planet.
So they have. So we're up to sacred words, and they have tons of them.
They do. They have tons of them. Like, so when you bump into it, first of all, just the word juggalo.
Yeah,
being a juggalo is a member of their legion, a member of their army, a member of their group. And So just knowing that you're a juggalo is a sacred word. But then when a juggalo encounters another juggalo, he says, whoop, whoop.
You taught me that.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. So
Whoop, whoop. That's another sacred word. It's a ritual, and it's a ritual that encompasses a sacred word. Yeah, some groups have a handshake.
Yeah.
A handshake is a pure ritual.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
to do the whoop whoop, that the
Verbalize.
sacred word, you're verbalizing a sacred word as a part of the ritual. And so they have lots of just the concept of the Joker's cards. First deck, second deck. These are sacred words that only people on the inside know and understand.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. So, and I know we talked about it on a previous podcast. The spirits of the Dark Carnival came to Violent J and revealed to him what he needed to show the world.
That's the creation story.
That's the creation story. And the Joker's cards, each of these clown Joker's cards that they make, it's each of their albums. Their album names are the name of the card. Is another chapter in what they're supposed to reveal to the world. And so some people will say, I've been down since Riddlebox, or I've been down since Malenko, or I've been down since whatever. So to be down with the clown is another sacred word. If you're down with the clown, then you're a juggalo, you're in the group.
If somebody told me that, I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Ringling Brothers Circus. I don't understand.
But if somebody came in this room right now and was like, down since Riddlebox, I would know exactly what they're talking about. So, because the first Joker's card was Carnival of Carnage, and the second one was Ringmaster, the third one was Riddlebox. So he's been down since the third Joker's card. And so there's already been the first 6 Joker's cards in the first deck.
Where are they from? New Jersey, New York?
So that's part of their rivalry with Eminem is that they claim Detroit. Yeah, but if you remember what Eminem said, you claim in Detroit, but y'all live 10 miles away.
Well, they're cool now though. They're cool.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. One of the D12 rappers
Proof,
kind of
maybe. I don't know who it was.
Extended an olive branch.
But okay.
And so the people that are in that group, that are on the inside of that, they can say that. And they make comparisons to the different, even just like saying Malenko or Riddlebox or Bang Pow Boom or whatever. It doesn't mean anything outside of the group.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So sacred words for that zealots of the Insane Clown Posse, the marketing, all the steps.
And now, and the thing is, it would be easy for people to dismiss it, to say, I don't. There's nothing that Insane Clown Posse can teach me.
Yeah.
But you have to take a look and see what they've accomplished in the primal branding end of things. And I know they couldn't have done it on purpose, because you're talking about guys that were like 19-year-old acid rappers. They couldn't have done it on purpose, but they did it so perfectly. They've created an absolute group of zealous, obsessed cult followers. This podcast is brought to you by AMS LLC out of Greensboro, North Carolina. AMS LLC is a full-service business consultation firm that provides tax services, accounting, and bookkeeping and payroll. And then there's a division that Ash and I work in, AMS Dynamics. We provide creative solutions, including logo design, videography, photography, website, social media, anything that you need for your creative solutions for your business.
That's right. On our website, if you go to AMSDynamics.com, you want to book an appointment for any of those things or a consultation, check it out. Book now up top corner. Set up a schedule with us. Come on to the office, or we can do it via Zoom or by phone call, or however is more convenient for you.
And the website has a comprehensive list of all the services that we provide, along with a description of each one. And you can contact us and find out more information about it. Check out AMSDynamics.com.
Do you have a podcast? Don't know where to put it? Don't know where to even start? Check out Anchor.fm. I'm telling you, Anchor.fm is the place to start putting your podcast. I put mine, it's free. That's where I put all my podcasts at. And they help you with distribution. They help you with the cover art. They help you with the RSS feed, links, boom, boom, boom. Anchor.fm has everything you need to start off a podcast, and it's free. Anchor.fm. So our followers, our listeners here, how could they apply sacred words to help them out?
So applying sacred words by itself, I don't think it would be as effective in a vacuum.
Yeah, as part of the whole.
As part of the whole primal branding aspect. And again, this is just one of the tools that we use to help people out, but it's such a big, important subject to talk about. I absolutely recommend everybody go out and grab a copy of Patrick Hanlon's Primal Branding. We'll put a link in the description.
I was going to say the link in the description.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description so that if they want to find out more information about that, because it really does, it blows your mind open. Because even as an individual, each person who's listening can think to themselves of something that I've got to see every episode of this show. I have to be a part of every issue of this magazine or this comic book, this celebrity. It's because those celebrities are hitting on those primal codes, and they're making your personality sing in a certain way because of those notes that they're hitting. And so what we can do to help people out is to demonstrate that whatever product they're selling, whatever service they're providing, whatever widgets they're out there giving to people, whatever you're doing to add value to people, to add value on one occasion and produce a satisfied customer is great. It's an excellent goal to have. But when you add value on one occasion and you just have a satisfied customer, you don't have somebody who has a vested interest in continuing to be associated with you in particular. Because widgets are out there. You can buy guns from anybody, but there are people who are Glock guys.
Yeah.
There are people who are Springfield guys. You can watch a Springfield guy and a Kimber guy argue all day. There are guys that are Dodge guys.
Yeah.
Chevy guys.
Ford. Yeah, all that.
Yeah. But, I mean, to deliver you and your goods from point A to point B, it does not matter which vehicle you use. It doesn't. But that concept of that primal branding, that creation story, that idea of the sacred words, the rituals, the icons, involving your customers in that story, because at that point, we are all creating this together now. We are creating a family. We are creating a mission. We are moving towards that mission together. And since you are now initiated into the family, you can communicate with other members of the family in ways that outsiders cannot communicate with them. That you know the sacred words, you know the rituals.
Yeah.
It's a joke, you know. You remember in the 80s, the big joke was, "Oh, did you get the decoder ring?" Been there, done that, got the decoder ring. You remember that phrase? You got the decoder ring, and so you can read the secret messages on the inside of the group.
And everybody wants to be part of the inside of the group.
Everybody wants to be the part of the inside of something. Everybody wants to be a part of something. You, as a business owner, can create your business in such a way that you are the something that people can be a part of.
So even somebody that sells books, somebody that sells shoes, somebody that sells burgers, they can all benefit from all these primal branding steps we're talking about. And we got a couple more to go after this one.
Books are a fantastic example because, especially in the fantasy world, when you get a paranormal romance author, you get a Cressley Cole or a J.R. Ward or somebody like that, where you can write a single book and have the story go from beginning to end, and at the end everyone goes, "Oh, that was a good book. I enjoyed reading it."
Yeah.
But when you get these authors that are phenomenal at creating a universe, there's magic involved, there's fantasy involved, but it has rules, it has rituals, it has creation stories attached to them. Now you've got a universe that you've created that your readers, you don't have readers, you have people that are a part of your universe now.
Right.
And so especially today, when there's often access to those authors. As an author, you as a reader, you can reach out and you can talk to those authors and say, I think it would be really great for this to happen or for that to happen. And these authors are responding to it because they recognize that primal branding aspect, where if you are able to communicate with the author in the sacred words language of their universe, they know you're initiated. They know you're a part of it. They know you're on the inside. And so they listen to those requests from those audience members. And the level of loyalty of readers to these authors, especially in that paranormal romance genre. Werewolves, vampires, witches falling in love with each other.
Outlander. My wife is crazy about Outlander.
That's another great one because there are sacred words involved in there. If you had asked anybody 5 years ago what Sassenach means, nobody knows.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay, because you're not on the inside, but your wife would know.
She would know instantly.
Yeah, she would know.
Probably. She would.
It's Gaelic for foreigner. It's one of those things where the main character, Jamie, he refers to his wife as Sassenach because she's an English woman, an outsider, a foreigner to Scotland. And so he calls her that. Now, between them, it's a term of endearment, but it's one of those things that's like, I don't know, I can call her Sassenach, you can't.
Oh.
You follow?
Oh.
But yeah, so
Okay.
that's one of those things, one of those sacred words.
Oh, okay.
And it's people that the creation story is there when it pertains to Outlander, and they talk about the stones at Craignadoon. And so they say in the story when they refer to the stones, if you just say the stones, that doesn't really mean anything.
Don't mean nothing to me.
But to an Outlander person speaking to another Outlander person, the stones in America, the stones at Craignadoon, the stones. It means something. They know what they're talking about with one another.
Oh, that's insane. That's crazy.
But people get obsessed with it, and they're eagerly awaiting the next book, the next installment, the next series, the next chapter, the next season of the show.
My wife recently just got one of the latest books in that series, and it's been like mommy time now reading this book. She's a humongous fan. The branding, the creation story, the icons, the ritual, the sacred words of it, like you said. Like if you said that word to me, I'd be like, I don't know, well, what are you talking about?
But I could say it to Sarah, and she'd know what I'm talking about.
Piece of turkey you didn't eat or something.
So when you brought up books and authors, I mean that is a very fertile landscape for people to be, because there once was a time where people would simply write a book and it would be a one-off. But now everybody has seen that if they create a universe with rules, with rituals, with sacred words, with a creation story, that they're able to create something that people will loyally adhere to year after year after year. For a movie to have multiple sequels, it used to be a goof, a gag. It's like, it's got 10 sequels like Jason.
It made some money, and hey, let's make some more money.
Police Academy has like 7 sequels, but
love that movie.
But you wouldn't consider it high art. You wouldn't consider it literature.
It's not a universe. It's just a continuation of a story. But I know a lot of films are going for the trilogy now. The Matrix. I remember Matrix for some reason. One of the first ones I remember is a 3-part, specifically a 3-part. Then Lord of the Rings came out, Hobbit, and Star Wars. Well, Star Wars, I guess, was the original 3-part. But the trilogy, it helps build the universe rules and all that.
It builds the universe rules. It gives them time to flesh out the story. The Hobbit was a single book. They turned it into 3 movies. Another thing that they do is when they take a series that has been like Harry Potter, Hunger Games. There was another one I was thinking of. Divergent.
50 Shades of Grey.
Twilight. Thank you. Excellent. And so they'll make a movie out of each book, but then the final book they'll make 2 movies out of.
Yeah, because the fans kind of like that stretch out.
The fans like that stretch. They want it to continue. They want it to go on. And the creators and the makers of these movies, they know that loyal fan base, that just totally attached fan base, they know that they'll come and they'll watch the movie. And Twilight has its sacred words, has its creation story, has its rituals. Same thing with Hunger Games. I mean, just the words Hunger Games. That
you know exactly what that's about.
When you first say, "Oh, we're going to see Hunger Games," what the hell is Hunger Games? What does that mean? Are people hungry? What does that mean?
You're on the 3rd movie and you're like, "Oh, so and so, whatever," and I've never seen it. I'm not a movie guy.
That's okay. I am. And so you've got Hunger Games, and you've got the different. Oh my goodness, the different districts. And so when people say, "Oh yeah, district," or they say capital, or they say
That means something totally different to the context of the Hunger Games with super fans or fans alike, I guess.
Tribute is a big one.
Tribute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every district had to offer up 2 tributes, which was basically 2 of their kids they were going to send to die in the Hunger Games.
Oh. That's what that movie's about?
Yeah. Fight to the death.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the Hunger Games is.
Wow.
And yeah, they would go to the Capitol and they would get locked in this giant arena and they would fight to the death. Kind of like Running Man.
Running Man. Yeah. Just like it. I'm saying it now. Just like Running Man.
Is it though?
It is exactly like Running
Except
Man.
not at all.
Exactly. But so I know that. Well, that's funny because we do it. I've been doing it when it comes to our business here. Our dynamic solutions, our dynamic creative solutions, our creativity, dynamic. That's a big word with us.
Mm-hmm.
You go AMS LLC. Okay, AMS Dynamics.
Yeah.
That's
your
totally
dynamic
different.
Creative solution.
Yeah. So, and like a lot of businesses can benefit from learning some basics of primal branding. Like especially mom and pop shops. Because you got big box stores and they got their primal branding. But if you're a part of the small mom and pop shop, the small business, doesn't it feel better?
Yeah. And they also have the ability to make changes that big box stores can't or won't make.
That's true.
Because if you own a hobby shop, you own this one card shop, and it's Bob's Card Shop, you can, as an owner of that mom and pop place, you can immediately say, you know what, Bob's Card Shop ain't working, and so you can change it to the Dragon's Den or the Rising Phoenix or whatever, and you can take a concept and make a creation story. Bob's Card Shop is gone, and rising from the ashes is Rising Phoenix.
You couldn't do that with like Hobby Lobby or Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart couldn't do it. Walmart was
Walmart.
Facebook tries to rebrand as Meta, and it's just a punchline to the joke, right? But when you have your shop, your store, your brand, your product, you can make some small changes to get your clientele, your customer base, to feel like they are a part of what you're doing. Yeah. And we are traveling this road to accomplish this mission together.
And with our years' experience doing this kind of stuff and our fresh ideas, and you got Mr. Encyclopedia over there when it comes to movies.
Not just movies, also books. As long as I'm tooting my own horn here.
Yeah. So when it comes to podcasts, check us out on Apple now. We're on Apple.
Yes, we are.
That's awesome.
Apple
Spotify,
Podcasts.
Apple. We have it also on YouTube, AMSDynamics.com. Check out our website. We can do all kinds of things for you. Thank you for listening.
Have a good one.